What's up guys, Chasing Labour here with episode number 12 of our Williams revival on F1 Manager 22. We're picking up exactly where we left off in the last episode. We're going to go through our new season preparations because that is going to be important. There's something popped up in the background. Weather Centre complete. Welcome to the new season. It's time to review this year's regulations, manage this season's engine, and negotiate new obligations with your sponsors. Well, first things first then, sponsors. What are we going to do? Merchandise units, we're going to do as much as possible because we want to make as much money as we can during the season, so that's going to be a thing. Race simulator events, we are probably going to keep that at a minimum because we're trying to develop young drivers. Race hospitality, it's not worth enough money for me to go all in on it, so we're going to go drop that down. Memorabilia room, again, we'll keep that drop down. Driver appearances, I think it's a lot of money. I think we're going to put that up as much as we can, which, it's not going to help them develop, but it's fine. We'll do a race day factory events from time to time as well, because if one of those is worth a few grand, we'll do 10. That'll be fine. In fact, it's just pauses for the day of the race, and I can't imagine we do much manufacturing on the day of the race anyway, so it's basically free money. A factory event is probably also free money, so we'll take some free money. And a race weekend driver appearance, I think control performance will be reduced. Let's do both cars for 10 appearances. I know I'm throwing a lot of money, or trying to bring in a lot more money than I probably need to, but I'm using the drivers too much for stuff. But we do need that extra cash. That's going to bring in a big chunk of change. Our season objective 9th or above, which is fine because we did 7th last year. I don't feel that's a problem. Balance-wise, we are starting with 19 million in the bank. I don't feel bad about that either. Tech regs, the chassis is losing some cooling ability, which is a bit of a trouble, but we'll get over it. Front wing is losing 12%, but we've gained back 10, so we're not 100% behind the 8 ball, whereas we're a little bit behind on the chassis. Rear wing, we've done nothing with that, which is troubling. Engine cooling, apparently we've done nothing with that. We're losing 3.8, we've made a lot on the underfloor though, so that should be okay, and we seem to have made a lot overall on the suspension, so I think we're probably okay there. Financially, cost cap has gone down. We're not getting near the cost cap anyway. Not a chance. We'll see how that goes. Sporting regs, we've just had a change of the points allocation. There's not been anything that's happened to the CFD testing or to the wind tunnel testing, which is fine. That's absolutely golden. So, powertrain manufacturers, this is going to be super important because we definitely should think about what we're doing here. If we look at things that have been issues, wear resistance costs, the wear on the engine costs us a lot of money. The power loss threshold is iffy, but fuel could be a lifesaver. Gearbox, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do what I planned to do all along, and I'm going to go and return us to the great Williams glory that is Williams Renault, because that'll give us more money for next season too. Williams Renault is a thing. We're going to make some money and build some power. I know it puts us down on power overall, but I think we can overcome it. I'm not against that as a thing. So, inbox-wise, what's in the inbox that's worth us paying attention to? I've got 10 million in the bank, which is going to help immensely. Car development open is great. New ATR, period ATR allocations announced, which is golden. Our team roster updates. Let's see who's moved places, shall we? So, Ferrari sticking with Charles and Carlos. Red Bull sticking with Max and Sergio, and no change to their reserve drivers. Mercedes sticking with Lewis and George. Alpine with Alonso and Ocon. No changes there of note. Alfa Romeo have gone with Bottas and Gasly, which is something I've tried out in a personal save. I think that's actually what Arab has been doing, and it's worked okay. Alpha Tauri have gone with Seb Vettel and Lance Stroll. That's a crazy move there. And Johan Daruvala as their reserve driver. Williams, obviously, we know what we're doing. Haas have got Sonoda and Magnussen, which could be a decent combination with Shaw as their test driver. Kind of starting to think I should have tried to get Mick rather than David, but it's fine. Aston Martin have got Albon and Zhou Guanyu with Nico Hulkenberg as a reserve. McLaren stay largely the same, which is pretty good. New regs in effect. Our internal car report. Can I get any idea of where we are in terms of the other cars at this stage in the season? Car analysis. Do we have any data about cars on the grid, rank on the grid? That's not bad. If that stays where that stays, that's not bad. Acceleration 11th. We are 7th in medium speed, 3rd in high speed. Acceleration and high speed again, DRS and 30. That's not too bad. It is low speed cornering. We need to work on the car. So I guess since we've got some development stuff available, we'll start developing that. We're going to start with a front wing because that's going to be super important. We're going to go straight split of our CFD on this because that's the easiest way. I've just completely forgotten how to count. Excellent stuff. Good stuff. So we're going to go, got to do math now. That's never my strong point. 27? 28 because that makes the math easier. That makes the math easier on the next one. Right, so we're going to focus on low speed performance, which hopefully will be fine, and I'm not going to try and lose any high speed because that would be mental. We just want to get things kind of up a bit. Airflow sensitivity, we can afford to not necessarily push ourselves to first. Brake cooling, again, we don't need to push ourselves all the way up, and we can drop that back, and that's not doing anything at all for our anything, which is odd. It's not really helped much at all, which you'd think with all that focus on the low speed we'd be getting somewhere. I guess we're just that far behind the field. We'll give it a go. We'll just go with that, and we'll go with a 3-engineer setup. We're going to rush that because then we can get some more work done. That should be fine. We'll get that underway. We'll also look at what else affects low speed cornering. The side pods apparently affect low speed cornering. They know that I'm not reading that way at all. Side pods, underfloor. Alright, let's do an underfloor for low speed cornering as well. That will make life a little bit easier. And we can start to really make some progress. We're 26 hours into this. And then design focus, again, low speed performance. We can push that up there. We're going to push our low speed up. Our drag reduction up. I'm not worried about airflow sensitivity. In fact, if I can get drag reduction to stay at about 15th, that would be about 5th, that would be fine. In fact, that's not going to make any difference again. So we're just going to go all the way up and keep our other things going. Good stuff. And we'll stick 4 engineers on that one because it's quite a time costly effort. So that's that done. And then what else can we do to get that slow speed cornering up? That's the next question. Suspension doesn't do anything for it. Okay, that's everything. So we're going to look for, I guess, chassis. Chassis is always a good place to go. We'll pump everything else into that. We're just going to try and get as much fast out of the car as we possibly can using the chassis, balance, race performance. I mean, we've got to get that engine cooling up because that's going to be a disaster otherwise. There, that should work. That puts us up to 11th in top speed and acceleration in DRS. That can't hurt us too much, surely. Anything? That'll do. That's not broken anything. That's perfect. Alright, we'll do that. 3 days on that, and again, we're going to rush it because I can get some more iterations of stuff done. And at least we've done the big boosty thing, which is great. So, that is a good start. We're not going to do the race today, of course. That will be mad. But what we will do is we will get ourselves as close to it as we can do. We'll get to the day after testing, just to give us some stuff to talk about, and we'll see where we're at in terms of the first race, and that will leave us in a good place to make decisions about whether we're going to go full com on the race, or if we're going to go the same way we did last season. It all kind of depends on where we are in the battles. So, scouting complete, which is good, because that gives me a chance to see who else has appeared in the scouting thing. Obviously, there are regens in this. Suspension simulator in poor condition is probably a thing I can take care of. We'll take care of that. In fact, I didn't do the CFD simulator either. We'll do that refurb as well. Right, let's have a look at the drivers. And let's... Oh, we've got a development point for Théo Pourchaire. That's good. We're going to get you to be better at overtaking, because that's definitely been a weakness for you last season. Whenever you were in a position to take advantage of anything, you never really did, which from the staff will do that as well. We'll go better side pod design from Michael Huber, because, 60 is not going to cut it, my friend. Roberta Pellegrini, we need her to get better at airflow sensitivity, because that's helpful. Alex Chan can get a better communication thing, because he has not been doing much of use with Théo Pourchaire. And Mattia Spini, again, communication, because why not? That's worked out okay. So the next thing I need to do is get my brain in gear. I think scouting, that's what I was talking about, scouting drivers. Okay, so scouting wise, let's go all the way back to the top. All the way back to the top, and let's see who's come into the game fresh, regenerated as new players, or as new drivers. We have to look at the drivers we haven't scouted yet. That will help. And who is new? We've got Susan Hawkins. Susan Hawkins, we'll give her a scout, because, it'd be nice to get some female drivers on the grid. That would be a nice change of pace for things. Kiao Yusheng. I mean, we may as well chase that Chinese dollar, because that's always good. And who else have we got? Anyone new popping up elsewhere that we can talk? Vincent Roche is definitely new, but we'll not shoot our wad on him straight away, just to see what else comes up. Gus Shunman is definitely new as well, so we'll have a look at him down the line. I just want to see what else we've got here. Kalen Fredericks doesn't seem to be a name that rings a bell. I don't know anything about this guy. Ayrton Simmons feels like someone who's a real driver. He doesn't look much like an Ayrton, so we'll... Kush Maini was definitely someone around last year. I've seen his face before, and I don't know why I've seen his face before. First, we've got Larim Zendelli. Anyone I know? I know that face too. I don't know why. Maybe I've been watching more lower series racing than I think I've been watching. Has anyone else appeared that I need to scout at any point? Probably not. Okay, we are going to go all the way back up here, and we are going to look at Kalen Frederick, I think. That's Lionel Garnier, the man who makes perfume in his spare time. He could be the guy. Sure, why not? Let's go for the guy who's got that perfume cash. He will certainly be helpful for cash flow down the line. Okay, keep going forward, see what we get to. Design complete is good. I've just realised as well, I've done all this designing. I'm probably not going to have any money to build the parts. That's troubling. Let's check. Let's check if I've just made a huge mistake, which would not be the first time I've done that. It will not surprise you if you've been watching this channel to learn that this would not be the first time I've made that mistake. I don't need those parts in a hurry, so that's absolutely fine. In fact, I can probably do that's not the one where you can do a better thing of it. Let's do 4 chassis, because that'll keep us going for now, you would hope, and will give us a little bit of cash to spend on everything else that we need to get developed. I'm glad you came to tell me that our chassis design had been designed. Even look at Marcus Armstrong's profile. The Lord Marcus Armstrong only has average growth potential. Excellent, I've done well there with that scouting. We've got more facility upgrades coming in though, that's always good, and manufacturing will be complete on the chassis, which is also a good thing. Wind tunnel upgraded, refurbished, etc, etc, that's good. I did that already, so that's fine. And another facility upgrade complete. Hopefully this sponsorship obligation will bring in some cash as well, as our hospitality area has been completed, which would be helpful. Manufacturing complete on the chassis. We'll remember to get that on the car as well. Sponsorship obligation didn't bring in any cash. Facility management. Oh, we did bring in some cash. We got 5 million came into the bank, which is exactly enough money to do whatever I do with 5 million. That will help us. That will definitely help us as we go through the designing manufacturing process of life. Boardroom upgrade is complete. Design is about to complete on a new whatever that is. Front wing, good. We'll get that built as well because that's going to be important. And I've just realised I want to spend more money on refurbishing buildings, which is something that thrills me greatly. Front wing. Now, I know I've still got Oscar Piastri, so I'm going to build probably 6 of those just to be on the safe side because he do like to crash. Oh, I can do more designing. Of course I can do more designing. Good stuff. I knew that. I was testing you guys. I don't know why you didn't tell me I didn't do it. I know I've wasted all my ATR cash. That's fine because what we're looking to do is just boost our low speed performance as much as we can. However we can, that's the goal here. So we'll do that up to first place there as well because we want to be keeping our car in first place wherever it can be in first place. We'll drop the airflow sensitivity down a little bit and that should be good. Hopefully that will help us a little bit and we'll put the engineers back. We'll put all the engineers up to 3 engineers on that and we'll go intensive, which means that will, the fact that I don't want to do intensive, I want to do that rushed so I have a thing to put on my car on day 1 of the season, and then we'll do another thing on the side pods because they affect top speed, and that would be a nice thing for us to, focus on. We don't want to risk our engine cooling dropping there. That's a bad idea. That gives us more speed, more power, baby. That's what we're looking for, and we'll do that rushed as well to make sure that comes in. Going well. This is going well so far. I'm not unhappy with how things look in terms of the car development for next season already. Car park test centre, poor condition. I guess we should refurb that, and then the factory is also in poor condition. I can't afford to refurb it because I was not paying attention to the order I did things in, which is absolutely fine because the Bahrain Grand Prix is only a few days away, or which means a month away. It will all work out. It will all come out in the wash. It will be fine. Important email, design center upgrade complete. Magical. That's not saved me doing anything on the factory anyway. So that's cheers, guys. Still not got enough money for that. But we have got a new design. In fact, does that mean we can do more designing? That might mean we can do more designing, which would be an absolute godsend. No design right now. That's the next level then. The next level must be where I can do an extra design. Yes. Excellent. Okay, well that's only a few million away. So we'll see if we can get there at some point this season. Might be a case of save up some cash, build up the design centre again, get ourselves able to really compete with the big boys in terms of just throwing money at problems. That will be a good place to be. We've got a car park test centre refurb done. We've got parts to put on the car. We should do that while I remember because otherwise I'll just get lost. So we'll install that on car 1 and car 2. I can't remember what else I've built now. Do I have more front wings? I do. So we'll put those on car 1 and car 2 as well. And then we can get an idea of roughly, again, where we're at. Rear wings, we're still not quite there yet. Side pods, we're still doing designing. Underfloor, we're designing as well. And suspension, I think we're good at. Good. Right. So let's have a look at where we are analysis-wise now, in terms of the rest of the grid. We are looking slightly better. Slightly better. We might be contenders for some points early on in this season. Up and coming driver to scout, Zach O'Sullivan. I'm pretty sure I scouted him already. He's got, high growth potential, which we knew, so I'm assuming I did already scout him. Like it's literally saying it there. So good stuff. Right, onwards we go. So we finished designing our underfloor, which is also pretty useful. It means we can go and do more designing as well as more building. Let's build some underfloors first. Let's get the actually having the parts out of the way before we worry about spending any more cash than we need to. Underfloor, I am going to do 4 of them for now. We'll do 4 for now, that's fine. We can do more after the next race, that's good. And let's see if we can do a design project on anything else. Where is the gains to be had here? Again, it's the low speed corners, so we'll do another iteration of this fully focused on low speed corners just to see if we can get ourselves up there on the grid. Do we lose anything by taking that to first? We don't lose anything on low speed corners, so that will do us. And design wise, I'm going to have to rush that to get that done in time for the first race. So we're down to our last 200k, which is not really ideal. Hopefully we're going to get another lump of cash chucked at us between now and the start of the season. We've manufactured all the chassis we need, which is good, and hopefully that will all continue. So we've completed designing our side pods. We have our new ATR period is starting tomorrow as well. But what we're looking for now is the pre-season testing results before I do a new side pod design. And post-Barcelona, we are 11th on top speed, 9th on performance, 19th on low speed cornering, 5th on medium speed, 3rd on high speed, and 11th on DRS, 19th on low speed, 9th again on dirty air medium speed, 5th on dirty air height. We're working on our dirty air performance and on all our cooling. Excellent. So we'll manufacture the side pods because we're going to be needing some of them. We'll have to go rushed on those to get enough for both cars, but that's absolutely fine. That'll keep us going. We'll have a little look just to make sure I've got all of the spare parts I need installed on the car, or the spare parts I currently have installed on the car, because that feels like a good idea. We'll put those underfloors on the car as well. That'll give us a better sense of where we are going up on the grid already. We're looking stronger and stronger with each thing I throw on the car. Can't complain about that at all. Excellent, beautiful stuff. That's where we're at. So, we've done the pre-season testing. I feel like in terms of our calendar from this point in the season, we are 3 weeks away from the race. There's still some designing to be done. Let's carry on. Why not? Let's carry on and get some more design done and see what we can do. So we have got ourselves some new ATR point. We've got ourselves some unused scouts, which I'll get into later. And we've got a new rear wing that we need to manufacture probably 4 of. We've got enough to get us through to the first race weekend at least, which is good. And then we can look again at some development because we are 16 days away from the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we probably need to make more improvements where we can. I think I'm going to do another underfloor because we made some big gains last time, and I'm going to do again. We're going to start with 2 CFD hours, and wind tunnel hours we're going to go again, I think, for 26 or whatever it was before. That makes sense. Design focus, we're going to go again on the low speed performance because it's really crucial I get that up, I think, at this point. That's got our drag reduction on. That's quite a nice balance. That's quite a nice balance. We like that. So that can be one of our projects for the start of the season. At the start of the season, we're not going to get that done, but even if I put all my engineers on it, that wouldn't get done for the start of the season. So we'll just let that come in gently on intensive, because that will give us more. Lot of money. Okay, we'll just go rushed. Jesus, I'm spending 3 million on that. That was mad. Okay, and what else? Another chassis? I don't mind if I do. Why not do another chassis just to wrap things up nicely? And I think I'm going to spread out the rest of the points actually, the rest of the ATR hours over everything else I've got to design, because that's probably a good idea. Right, we're looking for what can you get on race performance from doing that. 7th and 9th in DRS is not bad. Optimized aero, I mean that's not really helping us much. Optimized cooling. It is about time we paid attention to some cooling. That would be really helpful. And I think the airflow only really serves to help. So actually that pushes up in every department except engine cooling somehow. There's a balance here. That's a balance. Doesn't really do anything at all, if we're honest, does it? Engine cooling up, cornering. Can't afford the cost us cornering. That's the issue. Let's just do that. Let's try that out. And again, our approach. Oh, that's quite a cheap one. So we can do that intense and actually make some big old gains, which is nice. Nice stuff. We are starting to look like we have a Formula One car coming together. Car analysis. What are we saying now? We're saying top half of the grid for most things. It's just low speed, so we're going to suffer at Monaco, which, if you saw the original version of this series, is ironic, because my plan was to win Monaco for prestige, and it didn't really go very well. Underfloor manufacturing complete. Did I put an underfloor on the car? I have a feeling I did put the new underfloor on the car. We'll just have a check to be on the safe side. I haven't done a third one. I haven't done a third one just yet. Alright, keep going. Keep going. Race simulator, poor condition. How dare you, sir? I have no money. That's unacceptable. If I get money, we'll get the simulator back up and running, because that could be vital. Manufacturing stuff complete, sponsor obligation getting done, pre-season testing results, part 2. Let's see how we look for Bahrain once we get the emails in. And we are pretty much there at the start of the new season. So rear wing manufacturing complete. We'll get that on the car before we forget to do that. That's going to be a good idea because power. And let's have a look at our car performance. It's going up. It's going up. That's excellent. Okay, that's done. We can't do any more development just yet. I don't think we have the manpower for that yet. So we're good in that regard. Let's go look at our emails, see how we did in the new testing. We have got David Schumacher development. He's been getting experience through training and races. Has 2 development points available, which is amazing stuff. We'll get into that in just a second. After Bahrain, we are doing slightly better than we were. There's going to be a few teams worried about us. We've done the manufacturing of the new wing. What else is there? There's another email I've not read somewhere. It doesn't tell me where it is. It was probably not important. We're going to hope it was not important. Okay, so we'll put those points into David Schumacher. In fact, we've probably got points for most of our drivers. We don't. Okay, David Schumacher, where are you terrible? Braking. We'd like you to be better at braking so you can stop the car. He's got up to a 50 already. Our plan to bring the Schumacher boys up as best we can is ongoing and looking strong. Staff-wise, we've got any points we can throw in there. We've got more for Michael Huber. We're going to go back to teaching him how side pods work, because that can only benefit the team. Head of Aero, she's done some work this winter. We'll put her on cooling because it's kind of our weak point. Alex Chan and Matthias Spini have gained nothing. How are our pit crew looking this season? They haven't really gained much so far, which is great stuff. Good to know. Excellent. Right, we'll continue on. Another design complete. We have to get that ready on the car. Front wing number 3 designed, which is probably a waste of money somewhere down the line, but you know, we'll get on with it and make the best of it. Front wing, we will build another bunch of those. I always like to have like 6 of those, just because Oscar Piastri exists. 2 days. I've got to do 2 for an emergency for sure. We'll do 2 for an emergency, just because then we have some, and then we'll manufacture some on another 4 on rushed, just because I want to get that new one on the car as fast as I possibly can. So that's that done. And then, do I have the money to do this? I probably don't have the money to do any designs. Suspension, we'll get another suspension designed, and I guess 40 days left on this. So we'll go for half of what we've got left, and we'll just keep rationing it and rationing it and rationing it. That's kind of my plan. I don't know if it's a good plan, but it's a plan, and we're going to optimize that for cooling, I think. Has that actually done anything useful? Probably not. Race performance, are there gains there? Probably. We can put a bit more into the brake cooling just to minimize the damage. I don't know if that's achieved anything at all. We'll go with it, whatever. Such strong planning. We are going to have to go with just normal development. Get that done for April. Problem solved. Robert Schiffer's brother, and all that good stuff. David Schumacher has developed, and helipad is in poor condition. I can't even afford to re-asphalt the helipad, which is good. But the new season is about to start, which is probably the most important thing. I'm going to get those 2 new front wings on the car now, while I remember to do it. Otherwise, I just spent all that money for nothing, and we do need to have that on the car for Bahrain. So, as a final look before we wrap this episode up, which I know has gone very long, we are going to have a little look at the final car analysis, and then we can pick things up from there. So, 7th in top speed, our car. 5th in acceleration, 19th in low speed cornering, 5th in medium speed cornering, 3rd in high speed cornering, 7th in top speed under DRS, 9th in acceleration under DRS, 11th in low speed cornering in dirty air, 5th in medium speed dirty air cornering, 5th in high speed dirty air cornering, and 19th in all aspects of cooling, which tells me we should be able to put up a decent fight for Bahrain, which means I might actually do a full on live com, which could be interesting. So let's wrap things up there. Thanks for watching, guys. I have as always been Chasing Lamely. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't already. Until next time, I've been Chasing Lamely, and I'll see you very soon. Oh, also, let me know what you think in the comments, where you think we'll finish this season. That's a good question. Let's do that. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you very soon. Have a good one.